Theories of motivation. In this video, we'll be starting the topic of theories of motivation, which is divided into 8 subtopics. But we'll see the first one, which is a drive reduction model in this video, and in the upcoming video, we will see the other topics as well. Now, drive reduction model. These theories are also called as the push theories of motivation, as the behavior is pushed towards goals by driving force within the person or animal. Now, what is drive reduction model? Drive reduction model states. Now, this is the important point. Drive reduction model states that lack of some basic biological need produces a drive to push an organism to satisfy that need. So what does drive reduction model state? It states that if there is lack of some basic biological need, so if there is lack of some basic biological need in an organism, it produces a drive which drives that organism to, or it produces a drive which pushes that organism to satisfy that need. Drive can be explained as a tension or arousal that channelizes behavior to fulfill a need. So drive can be explained as a tension. It can be explained as a tension or arousal. So how can drive be explained? It can be explained as tension or arousal that channelizes behavior to fulfill a need. Now drives can be of two types, primary and secondary. Now what is primary drives? Primary drives are mainly related to the physiological needs of an individual. The example of primary drives are hunger, sleep, thirst, and sex that are mainly related to physiological needs of an individual. Now, what is secondary? Now, this is simple. We saw primary drives. Now, what is secondary drives? These are related to previous experience and learning that leads to development of a need. So, what is secondary drives? These are related to the previous experience. So, secondary drives are related to the previous experience and learning that leads to to development of a need. For example, need for achievement in one's field of work. Thus, this secondary drive will then channelize their work-related behavior. So, for example, need for achievement in one's field of work, thus this secondary drive will then channelize their work-related behavior. An important term that needs to be discussed under this model, this drive reduction model, is a homeostasis, which can be explained as the. Now, what is homeostasis? Now, listen to me carefully. So, what is homeostasis? It can be explained as the process by which all organisms work to maintain physiological equilibrium or balance around an optimal set point. So, what is homeostasis? Homeostasis is the process by which all organisms work to maintain physiological equilibrium or balance around an optimal set point. It can also be explained as the tendency. Homeostasis can also be explained as the tendency of the body to maintain an internal state that is balanced or steady. Thus, whenever there is any deviation from the ideal state or the set point, then the adjustments will be made by the body to reestablish the balanced state or achieve the set point, thus restoring the balance. Homeostasis helps to operate the needs related to. So homeostasis helps to operate the needs related to what? Food, water, sleep, body temperature, and so on. Drive reduction theory explains how behaviors are channelized by primary drives. So drive reduction theory explains how behaviors are channelized by primary drives. However, it does not adequately explain explain behaviors that have goal to maintain or increase arousal. For example, so drive reduction theory explains how behaviors are channelized by primary drives, but it does not adequately explain like behaviors that have goal to maintain or increase arousal. For example, it may not help in explaining. So drive reduction model may not help in explaining behavior of an adolescent who enjoys a roller coaster ride or rides his or her bike in full speed. Thus, as such a behavior that is thrilling and a behavior related to curiosity cannot be explained with the help of this model. So we saw what exactly drive reduction model is, and then we saw what it cannot explain. Now I'll give you some time to take the screenshot. And I guess that is it for this video. I'll see you tomorrow with the next with the next topic, which is the optimal arousal model. And until then, subscribe to the channel on the bell icon and leave a like as well.